All right, I'm gonna do another book review today. I haven't done one in a few months. I was sitting around reading and kind of bored, so I figured I would do another review. Today I want to do the one, my favorite book of all time. I read it a few years ago, and it's called The Sword of No Sword by John Stevens. It's by far my favorite book. I read a lot. All I read is martial arts. I really don't care about anything else. That's all I read is martial art books. Anyway, so let me should have should plan this a little bit better. I don't really know where the book is at. I know it's up somewhere on the shelf, I believe. Somewhere right here. There we go. Okay, so this is center that. This is the book, The Sword of No Sword by John Stevens. It's about the life of Master Teshu. I believe is how you say his name. I've never heard it pronounced. Tsshu. I believe that's how you say it. Master Teshu. Okay, that being said, wow, this light is really bright behind me. Give me a second to turn this down. Ah, yeah, there we go. That's good. Okay, so this is, I showed you the front of the book, so let me kind of show you the inside. Am I missing the book? I am missing the book. Okay, there we go. Center that. And the inside of it has a lot of drawings that he drew. That's basically it. Pretty simple, pretty easy. The thing I like most about the book is it's about his life, but it's also about that time period in Japan. And when you go back and discuss his life, it really kind of gives you a feel for what it was like in Japan during that time. I mean, he was a personal guard to the last Tokugawa shogunate, which was Yoshinobu, I believe. It was Yoshinobu. It was the last Tokugawa shogunate, and discusses when Matthew Perry came in with the black ships. If you know anything about Japanese history, you remember that. It discusses why they signed the treaty with the United States. So it also discusses how Master Tetsu went into politics after the Satsuma Samurai came into Kyoto and took over the Tokugawa Palace, which, just for a history fact, Satsuma Samurai are the same people that went to Okinawa and invaded them and took all their weapons. Way off subject, but I thought that was interesting. But what I like about the book, let me get into what made me enjoy the book the most, is it talked about vows he would have his students take. And in these vows would be a vow for 1,000 consecutive days of training, which is pretty insane when you think about it. That's over almost 3 years of training every single day, which is pretty tough. But at the end, you had three different, I hate to say tests. I don't want to say it's really a test, but for lack of better terms, we'll say tests. 3 different tests that you would have that you would do. The first one was 2 days, 200 matches, which is insane. That's more than probably anyone in the United States or in the world really would do today. The second one was 700 matches. The third one was 7-day, 1,400 matches against students in the dojo. That's ridiculous. They talked about how their feet would be bloody. As a matter of fact, only 3 people actually made it through the 1,400 match 7-day test. Of those 3, 2 wrote a book. And now when you stop and think about that, if you take a test and it's so hard that you feel like you need to write a book about it, and then you find out 2 out of the 3 people need to write a book about it, that tells you how hard the test was. They talks about in the book where there were situations where the student would be near death trying to get through the test, because you basically couldn't sit down other than lunch, and you would get back up and you would start fighting again. It's a really good book. Show you the back cover as well. It says a little about the book, but John Stevens and his credentials. John Stevens is more of an Aikido guy, but his book is great. His writings in general are really good. I can't think offhand of another book he's written, which is amazing because I know of 3 or 4 others, but I can't think of them offhand. But he's a great author. Anyway, I highly recommend it. It's one of those books that captures your attention. I don't really buy books that have a bunch of techniques in them. I could care less about techniques. I personally don't think you can learn much from a book in terms of punching, kicking, grappling type stuff. I believe that, to me, it's philosophy and history is really the only thing. That's the only reason I would buy a book. Anyway, that's pretty much it. don't really have much else to say about the book other than I highly recommend it. If you have any questions, if there's any books you want to know about, or if there's any really just martial art history questions, I mean, I do this. I sit here and read all day, every day. There's not a whole lot I don't know, but then in reality, there's really nothing you can't Google either. So, but if there's a book that you're debating on buying or that you want to buy, feel free to let me know. I'll tell you if I read it. I'll tell you how good it is. If it's, I try to stay away from negativity. If you notice, my book reviews are about the books I like. There are books that I don't like, but you'll never hear me say anything about them. I'm not really into bashing authors or books or other martial arts or martial artists. I think that's I don't think it's right. I see people do that a lot. Get on YouTube and just start bashing people. This guy's horrible. This martial art's horrible. To each his own, but you won't ever see me do that. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the reviews. I've started adding a lot of stuff to my channel. Subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I hope you enjoy the review, and I guess I'll see you next time.